Hey y'all, Pastor Matt here. I'm really excited that you guys are joining me for our very first Soap Dish devotional. Where here at Soap, we are intentional about curating kingdom culture in a countercultural way. Now, today we are going to be discussing the 4 things you need to look for in a healthy church community. And a lot of you guys are asking yourselves, what happens after you guys get baptized with the Holy Ghost, receive God for the first time, or receive Jesus for the first time, or you just got baptized, just got out of the pool, and you're wondering, what now? Well, here are the 4 things that you need to look for in a healthy church community. Number 1, are they devoted, or have they devoted themselves to the teachings of Jesus? 2, do they have an accurate understanding of fellowship? 3, do they believe together? And 4, do they have a ready willingness to meet the needs of the church? Here are the 4 things you need to look out for when looking for a healthy church community. And in Acts chapter 2, verses 42 to 47, and it reads, it says, "And they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. And all came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. And all who believed were together and had all things in common. And they were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all, as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple together and breaking bread in their homes, they received food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to the numbers day by day those who were being saved." Acts 2, 42 to 47. Now, I don't know about you, but everybody loves mom's cooking. For me, growing up Trinity American, Caribbean American, one of my mom's favorite dishes was something called macaroni pie. Now, Americans would say baked macaroni, right? For some people, it's dad's barbecue or ribs. But for me, in my house, macaroni pie was the best thing to eat, especially on Thanksgiving, your birthday. Whenever mom made it, it was slap. It was fire. No cap. It was the best thing you could eat. When we had guests over, they ate it too, and they loved it. The crust just came right off the macaroni, and I can't exaggerate more how good this dish was. But for me, everybody I know loved mom's cooking. And one of the things, I remember one of the things that stuck out to me, one night I came home from school, I'm excited, walking to turn my key, walk in the house, I smelled no love in the air. There's no love in the air. I can't smell the seasoning. I can't smell the crust. I can't smell anything. I can't remember if it was my birthday or not, but I remember I was looking forward to that macaroni pie. And I come inside and I don't smell the love in the air, walk to the kitchen, look at my mom. I'm like, yo, my G, like, what's good? Where's the food at? My mom looks at me with a baffled look, confused, like, don't talk to me like that. For me, I'm like, yo, you must not love me no more. I don't smell anything. I don't feel the love. What's good? Where's the food at? My mom looks at me and goes, "Nothing chops but onion smells." Now, this is one of those Trini parables, enigmas that my mom would say just to stump me, just to, confuse me. And for me, it worked. I was lost, and I could be slow sometimes, so I'm gonna be real. I'm looking around like, what do you mean nothing chops but onion smells? What does that have to do with the price of tea and cheddar? Like, what is that? I don't know what that is. Please explain, put something on this plate, because I'm hungry. And I'm looking around, baffled, confused at this enigma, until my brother hits me with the revelation and looks at me and goes, "Bruh, mom ain't cooked nothing." And I was at loss for words. And I realized that some people won't understand the message or won't understand the value of community because they don't get the message. Like for me, my brother was that community for me. Because I had access to community, I was able to understand the message of what my brother was, or what my mom was trying to say. And for me, that food is connected to the affection of my mom, the love of my mom's cooking, I connected to it. So for me, if I didn't have access to community, if I didn't have my brother explaining that to me, I'd have been lost. I would have never understood the message of what my mom was saying. And for some of you at church, some of you that just got saved, some of you that's now experiencing Christ for the first time, you will not understand the gospel of Jesus Christ without the assembly of the saints. And this is what Christ literally says. He says, do not neglect the assembling of the saints. And some of us will never understand the gospel of Jesus Christ if it's not exemplified in front of us. And for some of us, that happens through community. For all of us, that actually happens through community. And we will never understand or feel the full affection of God's love if you don't have access to community. For me, I'm excited that I was able to experience God's affection through community, through the assembling of the saints. And the gospel of God was preached through actions and not only words. Here, I want to introduce to you the 4 things you need to look for when looking for a healthy church community. Number 1, are they devoted to the teachings of Jesus? When you're looking for a church, you want to make sure that they are devoted, that they are committed to the teachings of Jesus. Do you hear it through the pulpit? Do you hear it not only in the conversation, but in the small groups, in the cell groups, in the teachings? Is it coming up, or is the sermon series being reiterated throughout the week? Like, are they making sure that you are getting the point of the gospel message of Jesus Christ? Number 2, do they have an accurate understanding of fellowship? Now, let's rewind, cycle back for a second. We know what fellowship is, but some of us don't know exactly what it looks like. Here, fellowship breaks down into this Greek word meaning koinonia. Koinonia simply means the expression of one's intimacy through friendship and the breaking of bread. Again, the expression of the intimacy of one's friendship through the breaking of bread. What does that look like? What does that fellowship look like? The breaking of bread. If there's no breaking of bread, guess what? There's no fellowship. So the second thing that you want to look for when looking for a healthy church community is, do they have a correct and accurate understanding of fellowship? Is the eating of ordinary foods present? Are they chilling together? Are they eating together? Are there feasts of charity? Are they feeding the homeless? Are they making sure that they're giving out free food to the people, or actually having meals for the church? And I feel like some churches do a really, really good job at that, and other churches, not so much, right? You want to make sure that there are feasts of charity, that people are chilling, parlaying together, eating together, and also communion, the Lord's Supper. That the Lord's Supper shouldn't just happen once a month in a church, but anytime there's fellowship, the breaking of bread, there should be some acknowledgement of what Jesus Christ did on the cross. He literally said, do this in remembrance of me, meaning that the Lord's Supper should be, or communion should be, more so a celebratory toast in that dinner, meal, session, chill spot where people are building, vibing, and breaking bread. Number 3, do they believe together? And again, I'm going to say some things, but I'm also going to explain it, and I want you to catch it. Yep, I want you to catch it, because some things are not taught, it's caught. So what does believing together look like? This concept is applied through this principle of unity and togetherness through the action of prayer, right? Are they believing together in prayer? Do you see it happening? Are they collabing together in prayer? Are they building up each other in the most holy faith through prayer? Are they building up each other through praise and worship? And are they conversating? So when you're looking for unity and togetherness, you should be looking for 3 things. Yes, 3 things: prayer, praise and worship, and conversation. Like, is this coming up? Are they doing this together? Are they actually building together? Is ironing sharpening iron? So one man sharpening another? Like, is this actually happening or not? Like, this is a big thing, right? And lastly, Number four, is there a ready willingness to meet the needs of the community? Like, are they meeting the church community? Are they meeting the needs of the poor? Is there a needy member that needs something to be dealt with, met, that the church is either taking up a tithe or they're cashing out their benevolence fund to make sure that this member's needs are met, right? You want to make sure that this is a voluntary act of the church, that this is happening again and again, and that there's some type of leeway when it comes to helping out those members. So again, the four things you want to pay attention to when looking for a healthy church community is: number one, are they devoted? Is this church devoted to the teachings of Jesus? Number two, do they have an accurate understanding of fellowship? Are they breaking bread together, right? Three, do they believe together? Are they having fun around the altar? Are they praying together? Is praise and worship happening where people are hoarding together, praising and worshiping together in the like mind? And also conversation. Like, is Christ coming up in the conversation? Like, is he really though? No cap. Like, is it happening? Or is it just people just talking about anything? And it should happen organic. Like, it shouldn't be forced. So you should be really paying attention to what people are saying. And lastly, do they have a real ready willingness to meet the needs of the people? Like, are they trying to meet the needs of the people? Again, this is Pastor Mac here giving you a quick devotional, a quick heads up on the four things you need to pay attention to when looking for a healthy church community. Because why? That's what's next. Community. Peace. Love you. See you next time. And watch out for soap.